Hello, blessed ones. Thank you for allowing the Lord to come through and talk about what He did, the story of Him. That's what I feel it's happening here. Did I get everything absolutely perfect and pure and straight from the Lord? Probably not. As I was growing with Him, and I remember every time I would get stuck, I would not see that the clear direction was too much about people and not enough about Him, about the Lord. Or too much stuff coming against us. You know, sometimes the religious institutions, the denominations, they would cause us so much harm. They would come against us. They will tell the secret police where to find us. And they thought they do that for the Lord because we were in error. We were heretics. So they thought they do this for the Lord to just deliver us to the secret police. Yeah, yes, these are the words of Jesus. They would think that they do that for the Lord. So sometimes I just had to take a break, and if I could take a train from one station to another, I would just decide for an hour and a half to just walk and pray, until I know that I know this is what He wants me to do. It was not easy. It was not like, oh, I got it. Oh, here's the heaven open. Lots of birthing process. You know, there is a song called "The Pioneer." It makes me cry when I listen to that song. And I think the name of the singer is Honey Tree, something like that. And she talks about the pioneers, that if there is a place that's not open, if there is a way that's not yet created, they have a drawing to go there and start it and not giving up. Lots of times it was that. So yes, it was a growth, an obvious growth. The price was everything. Pour everything. And at one point, I realized that there were some people, some of those that were with me, that were consistent, open, ready to do it. I said, wow, that's discipleship. That is a disciple, a doer of the word. Ready. And they would not think of themselves. They would rather serve than speak, preach, teach. And they felt like it's an honor for them to come with me or to go where I'm going. And I said, wow, I never saw myself as a leader per se, except just delivering what the Father gives me. I'm in love with Jesus. I'll give you Him. But at that time, when I start to see that, especially people my age, maybe a little bit younger, then I started to understand that one reason Jesus came was to establish something. I will build my church. And he saw that looking in and through one of the disciples, through Peter. I will build on this rock. And the way he would take care of and work with the 12 disciples was so different than what he was doing with others. So definitely that's one reason he came. So after a while, I met another brother, and a very, very, very powerful leader. And somehow he had 2 or 3 of his disciples, people coming with him. I had 2 or 3, and we decided let's build like a summit where all 7, it was the summit of the 7. We meet, we spent a few days, probably we fasted, just seeking the Lord, receiving a vision, direction. Yes, even at that time. And I felt this unity among this group. Like everyone would be ready to give his life for the others. Oh, it was so powerful. Most of us were single, so it was fairly easy to say, hey, we're going to meet Friday there and we'll go back to work on Monday morning. That's it. So I had 3 days together. That impartation that came into that core group, it was so important because I felt that created the foundation of an increase. What we were going to build from that place on was built on that core group coming into one. Very important. Create that oneness in leadership. And yes, we started to go. We're doing like youth conferences, and don't think a youth conference as you do it now in the States. No, we had to do it on the top of a mountain or outside the forest. So everybody would come with the camping gear. We would all camp, and that was our youth conference. Because in communism, you couldn't use the church buildings. You couldn't do it in a city because it was everywhere, controlled by the government. So we do it outside in the forest. We would also go to some of the official churches, let's call them that way, denominations, if we were invited, and the pastors, the leaders that would invite us was at their own risk. Some of them would have to pay really expensive costs. Not their life necessarily, but some of them would lose their salary. Or would be just kicked out from that church and put to pastor or shepherd the church like 50 miles away. But the ones that the Lord would awaken into truth, they would invite us. We would meet with them. I remember right before I had to leave for America, the night before, so I had a ticket, everything was prepared, packed. I get a phone call at my home residence, and it says, I'm so-and-so. I recognize the name. Was a Baptist pastor that just finished the seminary. And he said, I'm so and so, I want to meet with you. I want that gift of the Holy Spirit. I want to know the Lord as you know him. When can we meet? I said, I'm sorry, in a few hours I'll be out of this country. Wow, it to me was just a result, a fruit of all those years of putting the light on the top of the hill, the city on the hill, not be afraid, not be ashamed, and speaking truth that actually penetrated through denominations, religions, because truth sets people free indeed. So yes, it was not just the home churches, but we started to create this nucleus, this core of leaders, and we're thinking what's coming next. So we're discussing lots of strategy with them. So stay tuned. We'll keep going.